Power Platform versus Custom .NET Development, How to Choose the Right Approach. Hey, welcome. In this video, we're breaking down Power Platform versus Custom .NET Development, How to Choose the Right Approach. Let's get into it. Next up, what is the core difference between Power Platform and Custom .NET? Both Power Platform and Custom .NET Development solve business problems, but they sit at opposite ends of the build versus configure spectrum. Understanding where each one lives is the foundation for every decision that follows. Power Platform is Microsoft's suite of low-code tools: Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, Power Pages, and Dataverse. It is designed so business analysts and citizen developers can build solutions with minimal traditional coding. Custom .NET development means building applications from the ground up using C#, ASP.NET, Blazor, or similar technologies. You control the architecture, the data model, the performance profile, and the deployment target entirely. Let's talk about when custom Power Apps development makes sense. Custom Power Apps development delivers the most value in mid-market and enterprise scenarios where business users have strong domain knowledge but limited engineering resources. The sweet spot is internal tooling, approval workflows, data collection forms, operational dashboards, and process automation that bridges gaps between existing systems. Canvas apps give you pixel-perfect control over the user interface. You drag and drop components, connect to almost any data source, and design the experience to match your workflow exactly. They work well for mobile-first field tools, simple data entry forms, and one-off operational workflows. Model-driven apps are built on top of Dataverse and follow a data-first approach. You define your data model and the app renders itself based on that model. They are better for complex data management scenarios, CRM-style apps, case management systems, and inspection tracking where you have 10 or more related entities. If you are deciding between these two, our guide on choosing between SharePoint, Power Apps, and Custom .NET for intranet portals covers the decision in detail. Moving on to when Custom .NET development is the better choice. Low-code has real limits. When you hit them, pushing Power Platform further rarely ends well. The clearest signal is when your Power Apps solution requires more workarounds than logic. If you are using 10 or more nested conditions in PowerFX, calling external APIs through custom connectors that keep breaking, or managing data in spreadsheets because Dataverse licensing costs too much for your user count, you have probably outgrown the platform for this particular use case. Other clear signals. Now, how Power Platform governance prevents shadow IT. Power Platform governance is the set of policies, controls, and processes that prevent the platform from becoming a compliance liability. Without it, citizen developers build apps that store data in personal OneDrive folders, connect to unsanctioned external services, and bypass IT security controls entirely. Shadow IT in Power Platform is a documented problem. When Microsoft included Power Apps in Microsoft 365 licenses, millions of users suddenly had access to a development platform with no governance framework in place. The result at many organizations was exactly what you would expect: data silos, abandoned apps, and compliance gaps that only surfaced during audits. Power Platform governance prevents shadow IT through DLP policies, environment strategies, and approval workflows that ensure no app reaches production without IT review. This is not theoretical. We have seen firsthand how quickly ungoverned Power Platform deployments create security and operational debt that costs far more to remediate than a governance program would have cost upfront. Let's talk about what a Power Platform Center of Excellence actually does. A Power Platform Center of Excellence is a cross-functional team combining IT, security, and business unit representatives who own the platform's governance, adoption strategy, and technical standards. Q Services implements Power Platform Center of Excellence programs using Microsoft's COE Starter Kit, which provides pre-built dashboards covering app inventory, maker activity, connector usage, and compliance status across your entire tenant. The COE Starter Kit documentation is publicly available, but operationalizing it requires deliberate setup and ongoing operational commitment that most IT teams underestimate. Power Platform ALM is the process of moving apps through development, test, and production environments in a controlled, repeatable way. Without ALM, every app becomes a snowflake, deployed manually, documented inconsistently, impossible to roll back when something breaks in production. Let's talk about the real cost of Power Platform versus custom .NET development. Cost comparisons between low-code and custom development are difficult because the cost variables are different, not just the magnitudes. For Power Platform, costs break into three areas: licensing, consulting fees for initial build and governance setup, and ongoing support. A typical mid-market engagement for a single department solution runs $25,000 to $75,000 all in for design, build, governance setup, and user training. The Microsoft 365 licensing many organizations already hold covers basic Power Apps and Power Automate usage, which keeps the incremental cost low for simple scenarios. The catch is dataverse. Once you need a proper database backing your apps, dataverse licensing adds meaningful cost. Microsoft includes 1 GB of database storage per 20 licensed users. Beyond that, storage costs $40 per gigabyte per month. For data-intensive apps, this can exceed the cost of running Azure SQL inside a custom .NET solution. A Power Platform development company should be transparent about these licensing costs during initial discovery, not after the contract is signed. Next up, moving on to how to choose a decision framework. The decision is not Power Platform versus custom .NET. Most mature Microsoft organizations use both. The question is which tool fits which problem. Choose custom Power Apps development when. Choose custom .NET development when. Let's talk about conclusion. Custom Power Apps development and custom .NET development are complementary tools that serve different problem types. Power Platform wins on speed, accessibility, and Microsoft ecosystem integration. Custom .NET wins on complexity, compliance depth, and long-term architectural control. Organizations that get the most value use both Power Platform for citizen-built tools governed by proper Power Platform governance, and custom .NET for systems of record and complex integrations that need proper engineering discipline. The single most important success factor for Power Platform is governance. Without it, citizen developer programs become shadow IT programs, and the speed advantage disappears under compliance remediation costs. Build your COE, set your DLP policies, and run your ALM process from day one. If you are at the decision point between these approaches, or if you have deployed Power Platform and need governance put in place, Q Services works with mid-market and enterprise teams across healthcare, logistics, and financial services on both platforms. Reach out to talk through your specific situation.